Hello, welcome to MBS Academy, and today we're talking to Mel Burch, who is our Pilates expert at MBS Academy. Hi Mel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Jackie. How are you doing?
I'm really good. Yes, it's a lovely day today, which always helps.
It does. We've got the sun back.
So, tell me about all that equipment that is behind you. I'm really intrigued, as I'm sure our viewers are.
Yes, this big plank that's fixed up to the wall is actually called a Pilates springboard, and you basically use all these springs. They've got straps, and we use the resistance here. You can put your feet in the straps, your hand in the straps. So it's a Pilates piece of equipment, in case anyone's wondering, and it does all sorts of wonderful things. And then the other one is a chair, Wonder Chair, which normally lives at MBS, but I bought it home during this period because it seemed like a good opportunity to actually use it myself, and it fits in my little flat.
Excellent, excellent. So, getting back to the virus, COVID-19, what's your experience of this time? How have you managed to cope with it?
Well, actually, I'm not quite sure how it happened so quickly, but right from day one, I immediately got myself up on Zoom.
Yes.
I'm not hugely techie either, but it just sort of happened kind of fairly naturally. I think I had a client that was interested in maintaining a private class that day, so I just thought, give it a try. So actually, really from the beginning, I've been running my classes on Zoom, just obviously my mat classes. So I've had a few hours of those a week, which has been brilliant. And they started off quite small, and little by little, I've got sort of people joining. I've got a friend who's doing my classes from Sydney. I've got my mum joining a class from London, and I've got people, my sister from England as well.
Yes.
It's sort of, for me, doing my classes on Zoom during this period that we're going through has been a bit of a lifeline, to be honest, because it's enabled me to maintain some kind of structure in my day. So my day has a sort of shape and texture to it that I can kind of get up in the morning and I know I've got something happening.
Yes.
And I think it's also been similarly for my clients. It's mainly group. I've had just a couple of privates who I've been working with as well. But I think we've just been helping each other through the whole process by having these meetups and also staying fit, strong, working on our breathing. So sort of on the first level, it was sort of just as almost a structure thing, and then it became much more about that connection to the body mind, the breathing, the kind of connecting to your center. Just the whole thing of Pilates, and able to do that through Zoom is quite amazing. It's not the same at all, I have to say. First of all, the big difference is when I have a class starting, I mute everybody. And I find that very strange because firstly, there's no kind of feedback from how they're feeling, how they're doing. And often people might grumble about an exercise being hard. And I kind of like to gauge where people are at, but also you can't hear the breathing. So that took a little bit of getting used to, but as with all these things, we get used to pretty well most things, and
Yes.
we all find a way of making it work. So
it's amazing how adaptable. It's
Yeah.
amazing how adaptable we all are. So I was talking to Lucy yesterday, who, as you know, is the one of the yoga teachers at the centre, and we were talking about the importance of breathing, especially for reduction of stress and anxiety. And and the immune system, and I think Pilates is also very good in that respect as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's a different type of breathing from yoga, but breathing is one of the key principles of the Pilates practice. And bringing in oxygen, calming the immune system, calming the nervous system, strengthening the immune system. People don't think about how important breathing is. We just assume, we just breathe.
Yes.
And actually taking a moment. I mean, I'm also doing my own yoga and Pilates practice as a client during this time on Zoom, and it's making such a huge difference to me as well in the way I'm dealing with the period that we're going through. And I'm doing meditation every day as well.
Yes.
And the breathing, slowing down the breathing, fully breathing, actually really getting the full capacity that your lungs can actually take in a way that we just don't do when we're either running around or even just sitting around. At the moment, people are feeling quite anxious about what's happening. And
yes,
that's the way you need to breathe.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we're moving into the next phase, really, because life will start to gradually become back to normal. And obviously, you know, people from the 12th of May, things will recommence. I mean, children are going back to school, albeit in small groups. You know, some of the one-to-one therapies are able to start up again, such as osteopaths and physiotherapists. And obviously, you'll be able to start up again as well, because you work with the equipment at MBS, and you work with one or two people. Just wondered if you'd like to just sort of talk about some of the things that you and all the therapists at MBS Academy will be putting into place just to ensure that everybody does feel safe, because I think building up trust and confidence to be back out amongst people in social environments is just so important.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, it's going to feel quite strange. Although I'm very excited about the prospect of being able to return to some semblance of normality, it is going to be quite a strange transition, and I think people are going to feel quite nervous about going out, and because there will still be risks, obviously. But for my part, at MBS, as you obviously know, I've got my 2 reformers, and the good thing about the 2 reformers that I have is you simply cannot have them too close together, because otherwise you can't use them, because there are lots of exercises where you take your arms out all the way, you take your legs out as well. So actually they need to be quite far apart. So from that point of view, to me, that's going to be fairly easy to deal with. I can only have 2 people at a time because I have 2 reformers. And also, the machines are very easily wiped down. So I tend to always anyway, because I think the hygiene is so important, but even more so now, I think we're going to have to be absolutely rigorous about wiping all the machines down. I'm going to ask people if they can wear gloves, because the only part of the machines you can't are, like on this, you've got these straps, which are fabric, and they're the same on the reformers. So people will need to wear gloves. And I guess, I don't know, we haven't talked about the whole masks, whether that's going to be necessary. I'm imagining it probably will, but I guess we will just have to see how it goes, what the feeling is. If people want to wear masks, then that would be fine, absolutely. And if people want me to wear a mask, then that's fine as well. I think we just got to be really conscious of it. And for my group class that I have at MBS, if the weather's nice, we could perhaps do it outside, which immediately takes out takes off one of the issues of being in a confined space. Excuse me. And also, perhaps people could bring their own mats, or if they don't have a mat, I will just be very insistent that they bring a towel to place on the mat, otherwise they can't do the class.
Yes.
So whereas before I've been a bit more relaxed about that, I think for the moment we've just got to be much more methodical about the precautions that we're putting in place, so that everybody feels reassured.
Absolutely, yes. And I think it is about being sensible. And you know, from the academy, MBS Academy point of view, you know, there will be hand sanitizers everywhere. You know, we're still waiting on the final guidelines regarding masks and visors, but I think they probably will come into place. And I know that many of the therapists are organising masks for themselves and even visors, if they're working all day with the need to cover the face.
I think visors for some people would be really important. I think for me, I wouldn't need that. But one thing I would want to stress is Pilates generally is quite hands-on. I often place my hands on a client to help them adjust to a certain position. But even before the quarantine started, I stopped that practice. That's a bit strange. But again, we've just got to adapt. Absolutely. That I will be keeping my distance from them as well. Yeah. And I don't, because there is that distance, I won't personally need a visor. Yeah. But it's a great thing for people to be able to wear whatever they feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important to stress that, you know, as a centre, we will be, you know, ensuring surfaces are washed down in between sessions. There are 2 rooms available if clients actually want to shower after the sessions, if they feel more comfortable doing that. Sorry, my dog's joining in the conversation. So, you know, it is about whatever makes the clients feel comfortable, whatever's right. And obviously we will be following strict guidelines.
Good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to being able to get back to MBS, to have it open again, and for people to feel that their lives are returning to some sort of normality. Already my private clients have said, will MBS be opening up, and will we be able to come back to the reformers? So that was really, really encouraging.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Well, I'm really looking forward to the day, and we will keep everybody informed as to, you know, what procedures are in place and what classes will be taking place. Thank you ever so much for talking to me, Mel, and I really look forward to being in the actual same room.
Yeah.
Next time we speak. It's exciting.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Just my final note: how can people contact you about classes and about maybe starting back with classes and reformers classes?
They can get in touch with me through my website, which is livebreathepilates.fr. There is no information about what I'm doing on there at the moment. It's just my normal website. So that's the most obvious place to contact me. There's a contact form. My phone number is on there. My email address is on there. It's mel.c.burch@gmail.com if anybody wants to send me an email. But it's all on the website.
Great.
And also on the MBS website.
Yeah, absolutely. MBS Academy. Yes. So there's many places where people can contact you either by your own space or MBS Academy's website.
Or also Facebook. I've got my Live Breathe Pilates Facebook page as well, and that also links up with MBS too.
Great. Thank you ever so much, Mel, and have a great day, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you. Bye.